Okay, well, guys, ammunition for this video has been provided by Browne Works Inc., manufacturer of fine custom handgun grips. If you guys are looking for very unique, very customized handgun grips for your favorite handgun, contact Mark at Browne Works Inc., link in the description below, and create something beautiful for your favorite handgun. And don't forget to tell them Wyoming Gun Project sent you. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have an extremely budget-friendly offering to show you. This is the SCCY DVG-1 in 9mm. So this is SCCY's striker-fired offering in 9mm. I think I want to say I paid like $179, $189. It was under $200, taxes and everything included. I think out the door was in the 190s or whatever. And I bought this to see what all the hate is, because this is kind of a controversial brand. It's got its detractors who think it's the biggest piece of junk on the market, and then it's got its lovers who are like, no, it's great for the price. It's what do you expect for $200, for under $200? And so we're going to see if there's a right, a wrong, if is it good? Is it okay? Is it excellent value for money? Well, we're going to find that out today. So obviously we're doing the tabletop first, and we're going to take it out to the range, and we're going to run it a bit. So as you can see, it is the white frame with the stainless steel slide on it. You have front and rear cocking serrations, and I got to give it to them. I dig the cocking serrations. They're very easy to grab. They're not sharp to the point where they cut you, but I also dig the fact that they are, as like a swoop pattern like that. I want to say this is a 10-round magazine, so I think you get 10 plus 1. Comes with, show you what you get in the box. You get your little cheap plastic lock. You get 2 magazines and some paperwork. That's it. It's very sparse in the box, but that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the pistol, and that's why it's such a budget-friendly option. Obviously, mag release, slide release, which is extended a bit. I will say one good thing about this pistol. The size of this pistol is I can, at least in my hands, I can reach all the controls without having to move my grip. Okay, so even the slide stop, all that kind of stuff. This has the Roebuck quad lock, and I was like, what is Roebuck quad lock? Who is Roebuck? Apparently that's the owner of the company. So I don't necessarily know what that means or why that has any significance, but it's there. Flat face trigger, which is kind of cool. It's really not a bad trigger pull on this thing. It's not bad. Plastic sights, the front one is pinned in. I can't say anything negative about them being plastic because Glocks have plastic sights. They've had them for years. And I hear a lot of people say they break plastic sights on their Glocks. I don't change the factory. I like the factory sights. Very easy to put that white dot in the white square in the back. It's just, I don't know. So it's what I like. But I will say, I will gig it on how it's mounted. Do you see? Let me zoom in a little bit. And I have a CPX1, I think it is, and whatever the little 380 one is. I have one of those, and it has the same thing. Look at the gap. Look at the gap. Now, if I loosen this screw in the middle, and some people, even on that video, made an excuse. No, it's for the bad. No, you're making excuses. Bullshit. This is poorly fit. If I loosen that screw, that sucker, look at the amount of air. Look at that. That sucker will slide right out. That should be flush against the bottom of the slide right there, bottom of the dovetail cut. I mean, what the heck, man? This is, as you can see, this is an optics ready one, but I also, since I haven't zoomed in, I also want to show you, look at, just from shooting, they give you a plastic little cover here, because I guess they expect you to put a dot on it, but some people don't do that. It's only held excuse me, it's only held down in the back. And look at the plastic that chipped out. Matter of fact, it looks like it's about to break. Look at that line right there. It looks like it's about to break right there. What kind? And this plate, I have never had it off, never taken it off. Look at it bend up right here. Look at, you can almost see, look at, you can see light through. Look at that. Look at that. It's not flush with the darn thing there, and then it's bending up. Look at that. See, you see my hand through it, maybe a light through it. Look at that. So piece cracked off right there. It looks like there's a stress fracture right there, and that this bigger piece is about to fall off. There's a thin little metal plate under here, and this holds. I was looking at the, again, I've never had this off. I just shot it. I've only put maybe a couple hundred rounds through this thing. It hasn't really been that many. And I was wondering how well this thing was going to hold up with nothing in front to hold it. And I was looking at the schematics and stuff online. I don't know what is in here, but there's some type of spring or something in here that this little plate's holding down. So if this plastic plate fails, does that mean your gun's not going to work? Why didn't they just take a little piece, a thin piece of aluminum, or at least put some kind of tab or something in the front to hold this down? I don't know, but again, look at that. That thing is bending like a Smith & Wesson frame. So yeah, again, as you can see, the plastic already failed there. I'm convinced it's failing there. Look at that. Look at that crack coming off, and it's bent. So I don't know what the deal with that is. External extractor. It is relieved way out up front, and that's to aid in ejecting live cartridges. So I get that. That's cool. As stated before, 10-round magazine. Not a big fan of the finger grooves. They fit my hand. Let me zoom back in. They fit my hand, but I can see where this could be an issue for people. Disassembly is actually very easy. You just take the mag out, lock the slide back, pull this out with a punch, or almost anything will pop this out. See right there? And then you put it back in when you're putting your pistol back together. It's just that easy to take it out and click it back in and run it. Now, I will say, let's see the trigger. Not the greatest, but not bad. Definitely better than all their double action only striker fire ones. And I know there's companies out there that will make, M Carbo, I think is the name of the company, that will make drop-in trigger kits for these guns. But so you can lighten that up. You can get that better, but it's not unshootable. I could shoot this thing. It's not horrible. Let's put it that way. My opinion of this gun is, and I know that's not like a glowing review, but it's not horrible. I did notice this. Look at. So that barrel, I don't know if that affects lockup, but there's some movement in the end of the barrel. Again, I really have not had any reliability issues with this gun, and it's pretty accurate for what it is. For $200, we'll just say it's $200, under $200. I think they could do themselves a favor by having some type of, if they're going to make it out of polymer, maybe make it out of a better type of polymer, because again, that just under recoil and shooting, that is sheared off. That little piece broke off, and maybe they could have it where they don't have the Smith & Wesson frame bend type of thing in it, where they could somehow lock it in there. I would prefer if they just had a piece of aluminum, but I guess they figure nowadays with the popularity of red dots, people are just going to rip that off, throw it away, put a red dot on there, and run it like that. I don't do that normally. I don't have a lot of guns with dots on them, and I wouldn't really put a dot on this. So you know what? Let's get the weight and the trigger pull, and then let's take this out to the range and see how well it does in the accuracy and reliability department. There we go. So 14.59 ounces, and with the supplied magazine, 16.91 ounces. So just over a pound. Empty, of course. You throw some ammo in there, but of course that would change the weight depending on what weight grain, what weight projectile you carry, round you carry. So right over a pound. That's not a very heavy gun. That'd be very comfortable to carry. And again, I haven't really had any issues. It's pretty thin. That slide stop, slide release kind of sticks out a little bit, but it's a pretty thin gun. It's a very light gun. And so far, like I said, it's been reliable and fairly accurate. Let's get the trigger pull gauge and see if we can get a trigger pull on this. 540. .520 and 488. So a little bit over 5. Not too bad. You got your wall, so you got a light take up to the wall, and then it's like movement, 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 and then break. It's not the best striker fire trigger I've ever felt, but it is serviceable. You can train to this and learn how to shoot it pretty well. So let's take this out to the range and just see how it shoots. All right, folks, so we find ourselves back out on the range, this time with the SCCY DVG-1. We got 10 rounds of 124 grain 9mm. We got some steel down there. They're C-Zone, is that? Yeah, they're smaller silhouettes at 25 yards, and we're just gonna see how this thing shoots. Now, I've shot it before for shorts and out here on the range, which is why I mentioned earlier the little plastic stuff started, you know. But we're gonna see if it's still reliable and see if it's accurate. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, well, it didn't lock back and I flinched there, but whoa, okay, I got to address this. All kinds of stuff going on here. Wow, it seemed like it was shooting at close up. It's been my experience, this thing shoots okay, but this seemed like it was shooting a foot high. I don't know. And then there was and then it didn't lock back, and then there was the first round not stripping off. But let's keep shooting it and see if we have any more issues. All right, so it's not locking back. We'll try to see if I'll shoot it one-handed, see if maybe my hand's riding on here. right, folks, accuracy portion of this review. Ignore that top one. That was an earlier test from a Kimber lightweight, I think it's called Shadow Ghost. I mean, it's accurate. Go check that video out, man. I'll put a link below, but we're here to shoot this one. We're going to shoot this 2-inch shoot and see from 7 yards with 124 grain 9mm and the DVG-1. So let me just go back and shoot it. All right, folks, that is, well, she's not a tack driver, but that is sufficient, you know, defensive accuracy. It also did not lock back again. So that's one of the problems I've been having. I think part of it is my secondary hand hitting it, but this time I made sure and stayed away from it, and it still didn't lock back. So let's go back and get the final thoughts. All right, folks, final thoughts on the SCCY DVG-1. I think it's okay. It's okay. Some of the issues, I know there was a part there where I just, and it barely, this mag button is really light on this spring. I barely tapped it, the mag released. It was failing to lock back a lot of times. I think half the time it was my grip, but the other half, you know, I don't know, we're getting the plastic failure there as discussed on the tabletop. It's not very accurate, but for a defensive handgun, it's sufficient enough. It's pretty reliable. So I'm going to say it's okay. For under $200, I bought this for under $200. It is a pretty small concealed carry 9, but it is still in the range of like the Glock 43X and some of these other ones. You know, at the farther distances, the accuracy started to suffer, I noticed. But within 7 to 10 yards of, you know, usually when defensive shootings happen, it seemed okay. So yeah, guys, I'm kind of lukewarm on it. It's for under 200 bucks. You can get like, I did a review of a BRG-9. I don't know if it's released by the time this one is out, but that was $199. Now it is a bigger gun because it's the size of a Springfield XD, but it's way better than this. So yeah, guys, that's as best I can do. It's just okay. If this is something that interests you, if you got a better, you know, result with this, let me know in the comments down below. But thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next time.